Hey, it's Rich, Tennessee Homestead. How the heck are you? Hey, today we're going to talk about the 2020 election. What do you think? Sounds like fun? Alrighty, let's see if I can get on with this. Yeah, just when you thought things couldn't get any more interesting, right? Looks like the stimulus packages, if any of you was looking for that, what Trump did with the executive orders is probably how you're going to see. Democrats are blocking it once again. And here's the reason for it. In this HEROES Act that the Democrats want so bad, that is where they would take away a lot of states like Tennessee's. We require voter ID. And they want to take that away from any states that have it, which is like 37 states. So their Democratic Party is trying to say that 37 states in this union no longer have their rights to self-governance. But, and this mail-in voting thing, okay? I didn't think a lot of the mail-in voting because truly, if you want to vote by mail, you get an absentee ballot. They're more controlled, they're secure, they're mailed to you, you have to request it, and you mail it back. Voter registration rolls, and you can do a little research out there on this, and you will find that most states' voter registration rolls are hosed up. More people on those things that have died, moved, blah, blah, blah. Just massive opportunity for fraud and things of this nature. So basically you have direct voting, which is very secure. You have your absentee ballots if you can't get to the polls, and they could extend that out to the COVID case, where you get an absentee ballot and send it in, which I think they were already accepting that as an excuse not to be able to show up at the polls. So if you don't want to go to the polls, get an absentee ballot, mail it in. Throw that mail-in ballot if you're living in one of those states who are doing that, which are primarily blue states. But some other states are getting involved in it too. Throw them in the trash can. They are nothing but a problem. And here's some things that makes me perk up my ears and go, huh? Now all of a sudden the House has gotten a whistleblower that's come to them about another Russiagate for this election. Well, it's probably no different than the last Russiagate. Didn't happen. Well, here we go again. All right? Yeah. That worked out so well for the Democrats. Of course, these folks that are all wrapped up in the left like they are, they pay no mind to truth or facts. Whatever the Democrats tell them, they bow. Yes, my lord. But it's gotten to the point to where a little bit of news that I heard makes me really wonder that, like in 2016, if Trump hits his electoral votes, okay, during the main election, and he goes to post out on Twitter and Facebook that he got, that he won, they won't allow his posts to go up. They're going to take them down. Now, if that night Joe Biden puts in that he won, they're going to allow that post to go in. That's what they're talking about. Folks, this mail-in voting should not be allowed and should not be deemed as viable. Okay? They are gearing up for violence, okay, from the right if they pull this off. Justifiably so. Because they are playing with our election process. If we do not have a semi-straightforward election, you got nothing. Okay? Now you're down into little communist dictatorship control of the elections. We'll do as we want. We'll change the rules a few months before the election to where we can get in there and make sure we stuff the ballot boxes and we have enough votes. That's the game they're playing. Okay? Those mail-in ballots should not, and the Federal Election Commission should step up and say, we will not allow the mail-in ballots to be counted. Only absentee ballots. Stop this stuff in the bud. Just nip it in the bud. But they probably won't. So we are looking at a situation to where the Democrats, and to go back to Russiagate, it's like, man, didn't you get embarrassed bad enough by the last one? That you're going to play that same game again? Oh, we got a whistleblower. Well, we all know how much we can trust the Democrats and their whistleblowers. They've had whistleblower after whistleblower after whistleblower. That's all they seem to be able to do is run around blowing whistles. And they've done a pretty good job of making a mess of things. The Democrats, all their strategists told them two things that they'd have to win. The economy in awful shape, okay? And an absolutely massive turnout. Only way they could win. Well, you will note that the states that are all locked down, okay, to the point of they'll put you in jail if you violate it, Democratic states. The mail-in balloting that's going on, Democratic states. Okay? You know, they're going to be finding boxes of ballots for the next 6 months, I can guarantee you. Oh, he's still down by 1,000? We need another couple boxes. Yeah. And they shouldn't, as far as I'm concerned, what ballots are not in the hands of the boards by November 3rd should be thrown away. That's simple. Thrown away. I cannot believe that the Democratic Party is going to try to get in here and play with our election process. And, I mean, they've always been good at stretching it around the edges. But this time it is just a blatant telling the American public to go straight to Hades and stay there. They're going to do what they want to do. And even tried this mudslinging to try to get the troops not to like Donald Trump with, you know, calling him stupid. And he never said such a thing. And he debunked that fairly quickly. Even John Bolton backed him up. John Bolton doesn't like him. But, so the Democrats are just pulling out all the stops. These people are snakes in the grass, I gotta tell you. And we need to show up in the polls in droves. Okay, in droves. We need to make the initial vote going in one of the largest this country's ever seen. Okay? Go to the polls. Take everybody you know. Anybody that's interested, load them up on a bus. Here we go. We are going to try to have a president shoved down our throats by a corrupt political party. And you've got some of the old-time Republicans in here riding along on the coattails of it. I'm telling you what, if we can overcome this election, the next election needs to be fresh blood in the Republican Party. It doesn't need a few removed. It needs a transfusion. Okay? Of these lifelong politicians. We need to get some fresh blood in there. It's a mess. It is truly a mess. But yeah, they're going to try to steal this election. And when I heard Facebook and Twitter would not accept and let Donald Trump even make the post that he won. Okay? Now, they will let Joe Biden do it if he wins. I'm going to tell you now, I've got some accounts with Twitter and Facebook. I've got a couple different ones for business and the channel here and got it set up for the other channels. They're coming down. I'll have no more to do with Facebook and Twitter. I'm done with them. Just absolutely done with them. I'll probably start trying to use this Parler and things of that nature. I'm done with them. Okay? At this point, they have shown their hand to the extent that I want no more to do with them. And the rest of America should do the same. Seriously. If you're conservative, that would be one of the ways to deal with it. They want a platform that they don't have to monitor much. Let them have every left-leaning son of a gun out there. Okay? We move all of our stuff over to Parler. And let Parler know that we want you to play the same games that they're playing to the conservatives, to any left-leaning people you get coming back over here. Bring it to a close. Twitter and Facebook are nonsense. I couldn't believe it when I heard that. But apparently it's true. A lot of the news agencies are putting it out. So, this election, you hear people say this is the most important election of American history. And this one probably is. Okay? You are going to lose your republic this election. They're going to try to steal it from you. And when they do it, you're going to have a democracy. All right? You're going to have mob rule. And you're going to watch your electoral college disappear. If you're living in a small state or rural areas, you can just start staying home for elections because your vote isn't going to matter. You'll be controlled by places like California and New York. They're the ones who will tell you what your government's. Think on it a minute, America. Think about what's going on here. We need to show up at the polls in numbers they've never seen before. We need to stop this and hand them such a landslide that even their jury-rigged mail-in ballots can't save their tushes. I would really like to see these ballots really checked. Oh, that's one of the things that it sounds so nice, that HEROES Act. Part of what's in the HEROES Act is, of course, to strip states of their voter ID regulations, things of this nature. Yeah, it does very little for the heroes out on the working the DC whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Sound like Joe Biden there, don't I? You know that thing that they don't like to hear on YouTube. They are going to push for everything they've got to, looking for the right words here, to steal this election. They know they can't win it outright. They're going to steal it. We are going to see voter fraud in this nation like never before. The thing I hate to think about is this is liable to trigger a civil war. And they expect it. It's going to be sad. This is where we watch America come apart at the seams. Because the Democrats will not willing to face a normal election. You want to not go to the polls, get an absentee ballot. Do it the right way. But you're not dealing with the average American in these blue states. You're dealing with a group of communists primarily. And they don't care about this country. They think it's horrible. Okay? They think it's horrible. So we're going to get a Cuban-style election going. Where you can just, this one's going to win this time. And that's America, if we allow this. Better wake up, folks. Our last hope for a peaceful resolution of this thing is to hit those polls so hard that there is no doubt in anybody's mind in this country that we want Donald Trump back in office for another 4 years. And we'll pass the message to Donald Trump of, you've got 4 years, now drain this damn swamp. Let's start filing charges. Let's get this done. We're about to lose it, kids. Better get to talking to your friends and neighbors and make darn sure that, if nothing else, you can carpool to the polls, because it's going to require every vote that man can get. And even then, we're not positive that it's going to turn out okay. If one of you stay home, it's definitely not going to turn out okay for him. Keep that in mind. This year, more than ever before, your vote is really going to count. We're going to need everyone we can get. This is serious. The Democrats know they can't win, but they know how to cheat. And that's the reason for all this mail-in nonsense. And the Postal Service backs the Democrats. Keep that in mind. If you're thinking about mailing in a ballot, okay, living even in a blue state, you know they've been labeling those things with an R and a D. Yours is probably dumpster bound. Okay, the R stands for refuge. Throw it away. Wow, what a country. We got some work to get done around here, kids. It's going to begin on November 3rd. We are going to have to get this pushed through. But as far as the stimulus goes, if you were sitting around hoping for another stimulus check to help you out, not going to happen. Democrats totally blocked it. They could care less about you. Understand that. So is all you folks that, especially the African American community, because I know a lot of you could really use that check, right? Well, just understand. It was the Democrats who are wanting to force all states to do away with their regular election process to serve the Democrats. Because of that, you're not going to see a check. Once again, Democrats trying to take away constitutional rights of the states. They just don't know when to stop, do they? It's Rick, Tennessee Homestead. Love you guys. Appreciate you. This is insanity. Another Russiagate. My word. Democrats are stupid. Is that all they got? If anything, I suspect strongly a Chinagate. Because they are so far in bed with Red China. You're going to see those factories go right back where they've been being drugged back from. If it pans out for them. Love you guys. Appreciate you. A little worried about us. Not looking good. It looks like they're going to steal this election if there's any way possible. It's sad. I'll take care. Have a great week. Talk to you later.